You can ask the steam to just stop, and you can say, Sarah, just listen to me and answer me this question. Did I end up getting my license with massage therapy, and when did I switch to this profession? And she will tell you.
She turned back to look at me. She said you did, years later. But you had a client that had a daughter. You gave the mother massage. The daughter was next. But the daughter had bruises on her body. She was scared for me to touch her.
And that's how you moved into Child Protective Services?
Yes.
Did you go back to school for it?
No.
You started volunteering?
Yes.
And were you able to save the little girl?
Yes.
Awesome. And do you still have a relationship with her and now in that time frame?
I do.
Wonderful. So you can see a really beautiful future for yourself, huh?
I do.
And helping these young girls it's gonna be something that's gonna be really instrumental in your life, huh?
Yes.
Now, while you're there, let's go. We've gotten enough information from there, and we're gonna leave that scene there, and we're just going to go back to where you were, where the angel was working on you. And you're gonna be there in 5, 4, 3, almost there, 2, 1, and you're there. She still has her hand on your head. She's still flushing your energy. You were just asking questions. And how does it feel to be there?
Good.
Very good. And she's still working on you?
She is.
And who else is still there in the scene? Anyone at all?
Just me and her.
Very good. Very good. And now ask her while she's working, can she answer any questions that you may have?
She said yes.
Oh, she doesn't mind. And ask her, is she familiar with Hank as well then?
She said yes.
And who is Hank from her understanding?
She said Hank is the person that's going to help you. She said accept what he's saying. Accept him.
And
don't be afraid. You know him.
And ask her, what was our extraterrestrial connection? Something new, something that we haven't heard.
She's talking to me.
What she was sharing with you.
She's saying I'm not understanding. She keeps saying, I know you.
That you know me?
Yes, that Sierra knows you. But she's afraid.
She's afraid of...
You.
And why is she afraid of me?
She's scared to open up.
Oh, that's okay. But didn't she say she wanted to speak to me before?
Yes.
And what has changed since then? Is it okay for Sierra to hear the conversation that we would have?
No.
Is it above It's too much for her?
It is.
Very good, and I respect that. But so she's not really afraid, as in fear of me, just afraid of the conversation that we may have may not be ready for you.
Yes.
Is that her saying yes, or is that you just agreeing?
I'm talking to you, Hank.
Ah, very good. I'm sorry. And so, is there anything else that you would like to share with Sierra right now that would help her? Anything at all?
That I love her. That
That
I'm
you-
always here.
And you're always there. And what is the best way for her to connect with you?
She knows. She will always see me.
And so every time she says she thinks she sees someone in the dark or out of the corner of her eye, it's always you.
It's always me.
Very good. And whenever we do these sessions, we always because this session is for free, and so I always like to be able to ask questions afterwards. Is there a way that I can ask questions and Sierra not remember this part of the session so it won't disturb her in any way?
Take her somewhere.
Take her somewhere. Where might that be? Could you take her somewhere else to focus somewhere else while we communicate, or?
Yes.
And can you take her to a wonderful, beautiful spot where she can just rest and feel at ease? And if her higher self can come forward at this time, her highest self, because I know you take care of her and you watch over her and protect her and you keep her from anything that may harm her or be too much for her. And have you allowed her to be set aside, and have you come forward?
Yes.
Oh, very good. Sierra had a few questions. She wanted to know, basically, why have you shown her the things that you've shown her thus far?
Because I wanted her to know that she's loved. I want to know she has all the support. But she won't get that support with being angry. She needs to let go of the anger, let go of the fear, and open up.
Very good. And those reasons that she had those angers and those fears, by you showing her what you've shown her in your own words, state your example of what you've shown her and how it should help her.
It shall help her overcome everything she's been through. To show her that she have faith in herself and believe in acceptance. That could be her.
And when you showed her that her extraterrestrial self, by showing her that she was from the stars and from a distant place, and you even brought forward one of her higher selves from that was the male and long and lanky, why did you show her that part of herself?
Because that's what's hurting her the most.
The fact that she doesn't know that she's from somewhere else, and that she even has another, that she has more lives than just this one she's living.
She needed to know. She needed to know she has more life. She came from the stars. That stars are bright. So she shined. She helped others shine. She showed other people the light.
Ah, so is this, would you say this would be her purpose?
This is her purpose. But she's going through a test.
And has the test, the benefit of the test is in your words instead of mine?
Yes. But she passed her test.
Awesome.
She's here with you.
Ah, she's made it all the way, and Very good. And you say we were meant to come together then.
You were.
Excellent. So, and why did you show her the fairy? Linda. Was that Linda? No, that wasn't a fairy. Was that an angel that you showed with the butterfly wings? Or
Yes.
that was an angel or a fairy?
An angel.
Ah, very good. And can you say her name again, that angel?
Sarah.
Sarah. And why did you show her Sarah?
Sarah had to come out. She was the one Sierra was seeing when she was younger, as a child.
And had she worked on Sierra as a child then?
She has, but Sierra's been in the darkness, in fear.
And that's a natural progression, or that's something that natural that happens when you manifest in the third dimension, is it not?
True.
And now she's actually being reminded that this is something she's already known, just remembering now, right?
Yes. Her purpose here on earth is to help, to give everyone love, to be loved, to accept love.
Oh, very good. Now, and in terms of the part where I said, so she won't remember this part, and I'll probably just edit it off the tape so she doesn't have to hear this part. Every time, you already know, whenever I do sessions and I ask them in the end, may I ask personal questions myself? Would that be possible to do?
That would.
Very good. And my first question is, as I mentioned this earlier with, I think it was probably with Sarah or one of them. I did a session a while back and a woman said that I was the boy who knew. Could you please elaborate on that for me, if you will?
You were the one who knew who was coming to you. You knew she was coming, just in due time.
And when you say I knew she was coming, was I talking about Tanya, the woman who I had the session with? Or, I'm sorry, we're talking about Charlotte, the woman who I was having the session with?
No, Sierra.
Oh, Sierra. Oh, okay. And I ask this question every single time, and it's almost weird. When she said the boy who knew, what else was it that I was supposed to know in reference to what she was saying? There was a fairy, and her name was Galinda, and she came through from my friend Charlotte, and she said I was the boy who knew. And I thought the next time I do another quantum healing hypnosis therapy session, I will speak to the person's highest self and ask them, could they connect with my higher self, which I'm sure is there, and have a communication. Is that possible?
It's possible.
And before we finish up here, we don't want to keep Sierra under too long. Is my higher self there now?
It is.
Ah, very good. And for the sake of the video, could you describe my higher self?
Tall, bright, but no face. It's just bright.
Very good. And would you say it's a male form or a female form? Can you tell at all?
I can't.
And what about its physical structure? Is it, what do you see? Are there wings or?
It's just a glow.
A glow. Very good. And ask it, does it have a name or something that I can identify it with?
Doesn't. But it brightens.
Ah, very good. So do you recognize this form of me?
Yes.
And who do you know it to be, please?
beginning of happiness.
My form is the beginning of happiness.
Yes.
And I was told by one of the other people who I had done a quantum healing hypnosis therapy session with, who works on the campus, he said that I was the original light, an aeon. Are you familiar with that?
Yes.
And would that be accurate?
Yes.
And if you were to ask my higher self, could they explain that, please, so you could explain it to me?
You are the person to give light to each one you work on. The person to bring the light into the person.
And is that here on the planet Earth, or in terms of my clients that I work on, or just the people that I meet on a daily basis?
Everyone you have a interaction with, a deep interaction with.
So would you say I am a conduit for a particular vibration or energy
You're
signature?
high vibration.
I'm a high vibration. So this is a good thing?
Very good thing.
And
you are placed on this earth to help others, to bring out others of their true calling.
And so what I'm doing with Sierra in this moment is a good thing?
It's a very good thing.
And what about where I'm asking about my physical manifestation here on this planet? Is the book that I just finished and sent to Ozark Mountain Publishing. Do you know the status of that book? Will they accept that publishing? Will they publish that for me? That particular company?
Yes.